In the heart of the octagon, beneath the dazzling lights and the deafening roars of the crowd, warriors clash. But what happens when the fighter, revered for their indomitable spirit, faces a defeat so crushing that it shatters them? Welcome to a journey into the souls of 7 UFC fighters who grappled not just with opponents, but with the haunting specters of their own losses. The Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, has gifted us with countless tales of glory, bravery, and resilience. Yet, every story of triumph casts a shadow. In this video, we venture into these shadows, shedding light on the tales of fighters who faced defeats so jarring, they forever altered the course of their careers. Number 7. Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, often hailed as the trailblazer for women in the UFC, dominated the bantamweight division with an air of invincibility that few could match. Her rapid-fire armbar submissions and her fierce demeanor made her a force to be reckoned with. Fans and pundits alike believed she was unbeatable. However, at UFC 193, Holly Holm's precise striking and that unforgettable head kick sent shockwaves through the MMA community, toppling the queen from her throne. The aftermath of this loss was heart-wrenching. Rousey, who had built her identity around being the best, found herself in a dark place, even contemplating suicide. The weight of the defeat and the public scrutiny that followed forced her to take a significant break from the sport. When she did make her return, it was evident that the psychological scars ran deep. The once indomitable Rousey now seemed vulnerable, a poignant reminder of the sport's unpredictable nature. Number 6. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva, often referred to as the Spider, is a name that resonates with reverence in the MMA community. With a blend of unparalleled striking, agility, and a sixth sense for anticipating his opponent's moves, Silva reigned supreme in the middleweight division, earning him the title of the greatest middleweight fighter ever. His ability to dodge punches, land precise counterstrikes, and his playful taunting made him a spectacle in the octagon. However, the MMA world was left in shock at UFC 162 when Chris Weidman, an underdog, managed to land a punch that knocked Silva out cold. The defeat was unexpected, but what followed in their rematch was even more heart-wrenching. And a kick suffered a horrific leg break. Though he displayed immense courage by returning to the cage after recovery, the aura of invincibility that once surrounded the Spider seemed to have faded, marking a poignant chapter in his illustrious career. Number 5. BJ Penn. BJ Penn, affectionately known as the Prodigy, is a name that evokes memories of sheer brilliance inside the octagon. With a natural aptitude for the sport, Penn quickly ascended the ranks, showcasing his prowess in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. His flexibility, Brazilian jiu-jitsu mastery, and striking skills made him a nightmare for opponents. He was one of the few fighters who could effortlessly transition between weight classes and still dominate. However, like the ebb and flow of tides, Penn's career took a downturn in its later stages. A series of losses began to pile up, each one seemingly chipping away at the confidence and spirit that had once defined him. The MMA community watched with heavy hearts as the Prodigy, who had once been a beacon of dominance, struggled to find his footing. The relentless nature of the sport had taken its toll, and the once invincible Penn grappled with the shadows of his past successes, unable to rekindle the flame of his former glory. Number 4. Chuck the Iceman Liddell. With his iconic mohawk and tattooed scalp, he is a figure etched in the annals of MMA history. Known for his granite chin and thunderous knockout power, Liddell was a force of nature in the light heavyweight division. His brawling style, combined with his background in kickboxing and collegiate wrestling, made him a formidable opponent. Fans would eagerly anticipate his fights, knowing that at any moment, Liddell could unleash a punch that would send his adversary crashing to the canvas. However, The unforgiving nature of MMA ensures that no fighter remains invincible forever. Towards the twilight of his career, Liddell began to face younger, faster, and more dynamic fighters. The devastating knockouts he suffered at the hands of Rashad Evans and Mauricio Shogun Rua were not just physical defeats, but symbolic of a changing era. These losses seem to extinguish the fiery spirit of the Iceman. The warrior, who once stood atop the MMA world, now faces the harsh reality of time and the sport's evolution, reminding fans and fighters alike of the fleeting nature of dominance in the octagon. Number 3. Georges St-Pierre, often abbreviated as GSP, is a name synonymous with excellence in the world of MMA. Hailing from Quebec, Canada, GSP's meteoric rise in the UFC was characterized by his unparalleled athleticism, technical prowess, and strategic acumen. His dominance in the welterweight division was almost unchallenged until he met Matt Serra at UFC 69. In a shocking upset, Serra managed to defeat the seemingly invincible GSP, sending ripples through the MMA community. While such a defeat might have broken many fighters, GSP used it as a motivator. He reclaimed his title in a rematch, but the specter of that loss never truly left him. In interviews and conversations, GSP has often alluded to the profound mental impact of that defeat. It became both his Achilles heel and his driving force. The loss to Serra transformed GSP's approach to the sport, pushing him towards an almost obsessive level of preparation. Every training session, every fight camp, and every bout thereafter was a testament to GSP's determination to never taste such a bitter defeat again. This obsession not only fortified his position as one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport, but also highlighted the mental battles that fighters undergo, battles that are often more grueling than the physical confrontations inside the octagon. Number 2. Jose Aldo, hailing from the favelas of Brazil, rose to become the undisputed king of the featherweight division. His reign was characterized by a lethal combination of Muay Thai striking and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, making him one of the most feared fighters in the UFC. For almost 10 years, Aldo seemed invincible, defending his title with ferocity and skill that left many in awe. His leg kicks were legendary, often leaving opponents limping and unable to continue. But in the world of MMA, where fortunes can change in the blink of an eye, Aldo met his match at UFC 194. The much-anticipated fight against the charismatic and outspoken Conor McGregor was expected to be a clash of titans. However, in a shocking turn of events, McGregor landed a left hook just 13 seconds into the first round, knocking Aldo out cold. It was the fastest finish in UFC title fight history. The impact of this loss on Aldo was palpable. The fighter, who had once stood atop the featherweight division with an air of invincibility, now grappled with doubts and insecurities. While he showcased moments of his former brilliance in subsequent fights, regaining the title and defending it, the ghost of UFC 194 always seemed to linger in the background. Every interview, every promotional event, and every fight brought back memories of those fateful 13 seconds. It served as a poignant reminder of the fragility of dominance in the sport and the mental battles fighters face outside the confines of the octagon. Number 1. Dominick Cruz. Often referred to as the Dominator, he revolutionized the bantamweight division with his unorthodox movement and cerebral approach to fighting. His footwork was a puzzle that few could solve, and his analytical mind made him one of the most strategic fighters in the octagon. For years, Cruz seemed untouchable, with his style confounding opponents and analysts alike. However, the real adversary Cruz often faced was not inside the cage but within his own body. A series of debilitating injuries, including torn ligaments and groin injuries, sidelined him for extended periods. These setbacks not only robbed him of precious fighting years, but also tested his mental fortitude. The agony of watching from the sidelines without being able to defend his title or demonstrate his dominance made the physical pain worse. When Cruz made his triumphant return, the MMA community rejoiced. But at UFC 207, he faced a young and hungry Cody Garbrandt, who seemed to have decoded the Cruz enigma. For 5 rounds, Garbrandt taunted and outmaneuvered the champion, leading to a unanimous decision victory. This loss was not just a blow to Cruz's record, but also to his psyche. The aura of invincibility, carefully constructed over years of dominant performances, seemed to crack. Yet Cruz's story is not just one of defeat, but also of resilience. Despite the setbacks, both physical and mental, he remains a pivotal figure in MMA, showcasing the indomitable spirit of a fighter. His journey serves as a testament to the challenges fighters face, both inside and outside the octagon, and the relentless drive required to overcome them. These 7 fighters, each legends in their own right, faced defeats that transcended the mere tally of wins and losses. Their stories are a poignant reminder that in the world of combat sports, battles are waged as much in the mind as they are in the octagon. While the spotlight often shines on triumphant moments, it's essential to recognize the shadows cast by these moments of despair.